can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. She is blessed and praised. Hey, Twister girl, welcome back to Twist and Shout. And I have a truckload of information to present to you. So, in all honesty, this video may be long. You probably want to get a pen and paper because it gets deep and it gets real. Many of you know that I have created and established my own herbal growth oil. Listen, after further research and studying a whole lot, because I've been studying in the beginning, but now it just went up like I'm almost in school. And it's crazy because there's a lot of knowledge and understanding behind hair growth. And I have to make sure I give you everything I learned so it won't be a situation where it's like, okay, what about this? Or how come you're not talking about this? Because I'm only going as fast as I can. So it's time for a lesson. Today, we're going to talk about something very, very important. Now, a lot of you, such as myself, we have been through it all. Postpartum shedding, just pattern baldness, all this stuff. But how many has ever taken the time to figure out what caused this? How can I stop it? I have notes here, and I'm going to read them to you. And I'm going to try to summarize so we can get to the bottom of this. How many of you even heard of DHT? Right? Now, I've studied, I learned something about it, but what I learned the past couple of weeks, I think will change my natural life. DHT is an androgen. That's a male hormone. The hormone that's responsible for the deep breath, the facial hair, the toughness, like the masculinity, like everything that makes up a man, this hormone aids in. So, okay, so that doesn't sound bad, right? What happens when you get too much of this? It actually serves as kind of like Nair, right? Nair is very powerful, and like just putting it on your skin can take hair off in a matter of seconds. Think of DHT that way, that the more of it and the more potent that it's working in the body, that the more harmful that it is, right? So, and please don't get it twisted, because a lot of research has kind of focused on male pattern baldness and kind of left women out. But understand that whatever hormone we have, they have, or whatever hormone they have, we just have it how God designed. Like he meant to give them more of this and give us less. So even though we have less, it still affects us. And as you can see, there's a such thing as female pattern baldness too, mainly like around the temple, the nape, the crown, which is the center of your head. And many of you may say, that's my problem area. Well, let me listen. Please be still and listen to what I got to say. All right, so let me tell you what happens. The DHT binds to the androgen present on the hair follicles, causes alterations in the hair growth cycle. So mind you, I talked to y'all about the hair growth cycles, like the different phases. This, it's like throwing a wrench in a wash machine and just hearing all that click, clack, clank, clank, like, wait a minute, something's wrong, something's going on. So pretty much this just disrupts your hair growth phase. And it's bad enough because a lot of things are already affected, such as age, diet, all of that. But anywho, and this binding happens faster than testosterone. Many of you may know that too much of that is not good either. But that just lets you know, because we see the changes in testosterone in men as they get older, whether it be performance-wise or strength-wise or like divorce. Like we see all these changes when these men get older, and the losing of hair, and we consider it like the norm, like this is okay, which is true. Your body does change as it gets older, but please understand you can alternate any of these things and change these things for the better. So this is what I'm here for, to tell you guys that you don't have to sit there and let this happen to you. You can actually do something about it. For example, like these grays that are coming in, which I would say this positively looking at it, because they're actually growing in spaces that I never had hair before, which means that something I'm doing is actually promoting the hair growth. Negatively, I'm looking at this because I'm like, this is making me look older than what I am. But anywho, all right. So again, all of that is responsible for the male pattern baldness or female pattern baldness. All right. So let's get to the nitty gritty. There are things that are considered superfoods or hair boosting foods. Let's just label it something differently, because when you start doing that, they tend to actually pinpoint vitamins like B12 and A and E and C and call these superfoods. But let me zoom in a little more. What you actually want to look into, which will help you in the long run, is DHT blocking foods, or anything that actually blocks them, period. And mind you, this goes from shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, peels, creams, ointments. Like, this goes all over the radar. However, I am more of a naturalistic sister, so I'm going to focus on foods and natural DHT blockers. So that's what I'm going to talk to. Like, if you want to, you can actually type in on Google DHT blocker pills, DHT blocker shampoos, and all of that. All right, so I'm just going to roughly throw out some DHT blockers that are natural, that you can include in your diet, that you can actually buy or implement in your everyday use. And these are different lists. One is berries. One is avocado, almonds, tomato, eggs, pumpkin seed, walnut, banana, white mushroom, carrots, green tea, watermelon. That's one list that was just random off the internet. Another include banana, carrot, cashew, curly kale, egg, oyster, almond, peanut, tomato, and white mushroom again. Another may include spinach, peanuts. But again, this is something that, and I have another list. Like I said, you want to just like look at all these lists and figure out what's the most common and kind of be more confident in that. Because some of these are like, more so like, are you basing it on what nutrients it has, or does it actually block DHT? And that's what we want to happen. So, or if you want to break it down like even more scientifically, because I know a lot of people like, look, get like, what does this mean? Because you're just throwing out foods to me. All right, so let's go deeper. You want to look for vegetables that are rich in zinc, such as spinach, white mushroom, and kale. Foods rich in lycopene, which is tomatoes, carrots, watermelons, mangoes. Foods that are rich in biotin, berries, bananas, liver, and oily fish. And then there are soybean and pumpkin seed again. And then this one also lists black pepper, sesame seeds, bone soup, which I'm not even sure, like, this is soup. But anyway, grapefruit, apricot, pink guava, watermelon. All right, so on this list, I actually have, I might actually put a link to this article, because it actually considers these the top 12 natural DHT blockers. And that's saw palmetto, which is, it seems to be like the top one, which is very expensive. And it comes from palm trees in California. Stinging nettle is like another top one. Like, this is one that you'll find in a lot of the hair growth oils or mixes, including my own. But the problem with this one is preparation, I believe, because if you know, you know, which I'm going to tell you, because this is what I do. If you don't know, I put my oils and my herbs infused in oil for about 3 months. And that is actually the minimum for stinging nettle. Like, if you are infusing it any less than that, then you're pretty much wasting your product. So it's like in your minds, like, you're kind of wondering if these companies are actually going through the lengths to actually make sure that the oil is that potent. I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to do what's best for y'all, and I'm trying to increase my business. That's just how I feel, because I'm like, y'all have so much money and exposure to research and business and factories. It's like, how could you not know that? Or why would you not actually take time to do that? Like, is it really about $1? But anyway, fenugreek is another big one. And fenugreek not only is a DHT blocker, but it also helps slow down the process of gray hairs, and it actually strengthens. Like, fenugreek is like a super, like, if you want to call something super, fenugreek is it. It has multiple purpose, and it will definitely grow your hair. And this is one of my main ingredients in my hair growth oil. So please understand, like, I'm not just selling a dream or a hope. Like, I'm actually formulating something that's going to change your life. Like, that's going to actually be able, like, you'll better look back and say, you know what, this was it. Like, nothing else compares to that. Soy or soybean is, and which is, this is, I'm so glad I did this research, because how many of you ever wondered, like, why is soybean the #1 listed ingredients on it. And for me, I'm thinking it's just being cheap, like it's inexpensive, which is true to a certain extent. But based on research, soy is a top natural DHT blocker. This one is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Pygeum or Pygeum, Pygeum, and it says it's from cherry trees. So don't know what that is, but it's on the top list. Going down to some things that you guys may be more familiar with, which is tea tree oil, lavender oil, pumpkin seed oil, green tea, caffeine, and it actually does list this ingredient that, believe it or not, I found to be very interesting now that I am looking at this. Many of you, if you don't know, I did actually go to the doctor for my bald spot. And I was like, look, make sure this isn't ringworm or a fungus or something. But long story short, he never even touched my head or even look at it. And I just leave it at that. But he just say, hey, try this shampoo. And I said, okay, whatever. Because I know that this is the same shampoo that they actually gave my son. And this ingredients right here is the reason why this shampoo works. Now, this ingredients alone is not a DHT blocker, but it actually aids in the process of balancing your DHT. So that's a good thing. And I have plenty of this shampoo between me and my son, and I actually put a little bit into my regular shampoo. And again, I talked to you guys about what kind of access to DHT blockers you can have, such as shampoos, conditioners, topical serums, supplements. Now, again, I vote for the most natural way possible. I've given you a lot of different foods, legumes, which is like peas, kidney beans, lima beans, navy beans, things of that effect. Also going into, if you want to be vitamin specific, like what would actually help make this process easier, because for me, all these things work together. Like, don't just think, oh, if I get the shampoo, I'm good. If I get the vitamin, I'm good. I feel like try to implement all of this knowledge into your regimen. Like for me, like I said, I put a little bit of this in any of shampoo that I use. I've also did some adjustment or some changes. I got some natural mango butter that I'm going to start using. And I went to the hair store and I got some carrot oil. Now, let me just be honest with you. These are $1. So this is not like the top of the line, but this will do. This is a start. But I am going to look into actually getting 100% carrot oil and stuff like that. Also trying to lengthen the growth phase. So I got me some MSM powder. And y'all know that I deal with sulfur 8, which also lengthens the growth phases. But if you want to get a little more specific, or if you know that certain vitamins are, like, say the doctor said, hey, you're lacking this, that, and the third, this could be leading to your hair loss and balding as well. And that's a lack of protein, omega-3, iron, vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B12. Like, these are a lot of things to look into. Some just go to being safe and like, let me just get the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, which I did look, and this does have a lot of what is necessary. Zinc is in here. What was the other one I saw a while ago? Give me a second. B12 and biotin. Like, those are included in here. Now, of course, there also are a lot of other things in here. Vitamin A, C, D3, E. And I will hope to think that this is formulated to actually help everything work together, because too much of anything is not good either. Also, the prenatal vitamins. This has a lot of vitamins as well, and a little zinc. Now, I would say, surprisingly, I was thinking that this one worked better for me. I don't know, maybe because it's not as much, because the zinc in here is 25% and the zinc in the hair and nail is 50%. So I would say start small and maybe just get prenatal vitamins and then work your way up. But I actually take both on a regular basis, which I probably need to stop, because like I said, the thing about the DHT blocker, like, you want to make sure you have balance of the DHT, because you need some, you just don't need an overabundance. So do your research, take your time. Knowledge is power. I think that's it. But like I said, for me, I'm making slow but impact changes. Like, I think the biggest thing for me definitely would be a change of butter, which is the mango butter. MSM has always been here, but I have been slow taking it eternally. And slow, also taking it topically. Such things as Suffer 8. Suffer alone, that ingredients alone will help to elongate the growth phase. So is it safe to say, or are we just, because a lot of people are tripped up on there's no wonder product, which if we want to be technical, that's true. There is no one and done product that will fix all your problems. But I think with a lot of us, we mean well just by saying, hey, this will promote growth and assist in growth, because there are some things or some characteristics about this product or some ingredients that will actually do that. Now, I would encourage you from this point forward, don't be stupid like me and go out and buy every oil that says it's a growth oil. Try looking, if you have issues with alopecia or scalp scarring, or because I know for me, I know a lot of my damage, including like right here and around my edges, was due to perming, which is a chemical burn. If you don't know what that is, please look it up, because if you were like me, like I said, from the time I started getting perms from 8th grade on up, it was back to back. Like sometimes I didn't even wait 6 weeks and I was just damaging my scalp. And I can still tell a big, huge difference in how my scalp is looking and presented versus compared to my daughter's scalp, who's never had a perm a day in her life. Like, it's a huge difference. She has way more hair follicles than me. My scalp is more shinier and less resistant to penetration. There's a lot of things that's going on and a lot of factors that can contribute to hair loss and your hair not growing. The biggest thing for me that I want to leave with you guys, that a lot of people, they kind of, mention and then they kind of fall away from because it's not favorable. We got to change our diets. I know Black people don't like hearing this. We deal with comfort food. And I don't mean to make this a race thing, but a lot of us grow up in, like I said, middle to lower poverty classes, like where we don't get access to, like, for crying out loud, I grew up on hot dogs, noodles, and bologna sandwiches, the worst of the worst. But now that we are older and we are wiser, we have to do what we need to do for our health. And a whole lot of that is affecting our hair, and we don't even take time to say, you know what, let me look into this. I would say, man, if it's so severe and it's been going on for years and you don't know where to start, go to the doctor. Like, don't be a fool. Don't think there's a one-hit wonder product. There's a lot of things that will help in aiding and give you some promising results, including like my oil. But I would be a fool to sit here and tell you that that's all you need. Please understand, with every shipment and every order, I'm telling everybody the same: pray. Pray, pray, pray. Pray before you use this product. Pray and let the Lord guide you to what is necessary and what is not. And like I said, for me, I done told y'all time and time again, my diet is horrible. But I'm in for a rude awakening because, honey, I'm about to just amp it up a notch. I'm about to take this natural thing to the next level. I'm tired and frustrated because, I mean, don't get it twisted. I know my hair grows slow. Like, a lot of people have come for me, like they can barely tell. And it's like, okay, cool, but I know my progress. But what I would like to see is, let me see if I can change my diet and change my ways to actually help this whole process and not just putting my focus in products. So again, don't be like me and don't just go grabbing in and everything because it says growth or serum or whatever the case. Do your research, figure out what's in there. Like I said, if you need to know anything or ask any questions, feel free to do so. Comment below, share some other articles, links, or anything, and please make sure you check your research that may be informative to me, that I maybe can print off and look into. And if you want to join me on this, like I'm saying, I'm trying to be right mind, body, and soul. Like, I'm trying to be right with God. I'm trying to be right as a wife and as a mother in my household. I'm trying to be right as a natural sister. I'm just trying to bring forth what's necessary to y'all and eliminate the bull crap. Plain and simple. So with that being said, I hope you learned something. I love you. God bless you. Take care. Bye.